Hey guys, what's up? It's Jake, and I'm sorry if I haven't been uploading videos too frequently recently. Luckily yesterday I got a video out just with a nice little 10 minutes of loot challenge, and if you haven't seen that, you should go and watch it. A lot of fun, displays some of the cool stuff you can actually find in Svetlor, a town that a lot of people don't usually visit. Anyways, on to the important stuff. Yesterday, actually not yesterday, it was the 24th, a status report was released from the devs, as it always is. And man, did it have some good stuff in it. And we are here to talk about that today. As you saw in the title, helicopters and bikes are basically confirmed, and we'll talk more on that later. So first off here, we're going to talk about how they honestly covered a lot of separate things, including even all the way down to like audio and revisiting the falling animations, which have already been talked about. I mean, you can tell they're putting in tons and tons of polish to everything, considering we've covered falling multiple times. That's just one little example of it, not even a big deal. Anyways, to start off, they've talked about how there's a lot of unused content. So if any of you guys have ever played on like the PvP servers that, like, you know, they give you free loot tints, or you've seen people with like hacked in items, such as like recently there was a big kind of little controversy around people hacking in, I believe it was the M249, whatever it was like a big light machine gun. I know it's called a light machine gun, and I said big, but you know what they are, they're huge, LMGs. And basically these items are already in the game, such as like, there's like cannabis leaves, there's guns, there's like I said, the M249, I believe there's different character models, there's different character animations. All these features are actually like in the game, and they're at least in the code. They're not in the game yet, although hackers have been able to get them in. And basically what the devs are saying here is that there's tons of unused content already in the code of Dayz, and stuff you can see on their Trello account, which if you don't know what that is, basically search the Dayz Trello, and it's a website that contains future ideas and plans, pictures even, I think a few GIFs, which is really cool to actually see some future ideas. So, I mean, like, for instance, they showed helicopters on there. I believe the Little Bird was one of them. There's bicycles. They showed generators being in the game. I think over a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, they showed generators. And it's not been until now that we see actually generators being considered and actually implemented. In fact, in the videos we saw relating to beta that they showed at Gamescom, we could actually see some of these generators in action. Well, not necessarily in action, but they were in the game physically. So lots of unused content, and one other big promise they made was that every single thing, every piece of content that you can see on the Trello board, like I said, there's the PP Bison, which is a new gun, the M249, bicycles, helicopters, all these things are confirmed to come eventually into the game. Now, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, eventually, Jacob, but we've already got promised eventually we'll get stuff. No, here's the thing. Later on in the status report, they actually talk about 5 big things that they're worried about implementing, but they want to implement during beta, which is super, super cool. They said some very complicated things that we are dying to implement during beta include helicopters, shooting from vehicles, bicycles/motorcycles, barricading, and bow combat. So basically, these are 5 huge things that people are very excited about. Maybe not so much bow combat. Maybe it's just really like a hard thing to implement. But the other 4 of those, which were helicopters, shooting from vehicles, and bicycles, and barricading, those are all very big things that people have been excited about, and they're basically saying they want to make sure these things are implemented right, and that they will be implemented. So that must mean that in their heads they've already developed a plan for helicopters. I love the fact that they're implementing shooting from vehicles, because vehicles like a year ago, gosh, they just felt like they didn't even fall into the game, and now seeing the visuals of them, you know, the shocks of the vehicles as they drive over rocks and the wheels flexing, or the shocks flexing, seeing the gameplay of the helicopter that was released a while ago. I'll try to find that clip and throw it in, if not, sorry. And the fact that bicycles and motorcycles are planned for beta is so cool, because here's the deal with the stamina being added to the game, which if you don't know, there is stamina being added, and you can actually see in some of the clips of the beta videos, if you search those up, there's like a little white bar in the bottom left corner that, you know, makes its way down as you run out of stamina. It looks really nice, and if you're going to have stamina, I think they implemented it well, although personally I'm not sure if I'm pro stamina or against stamina. So anyways, that's not for me to decide, though. I'm not a developer. And yeah, so another big thing is that every gun has its own custom animations, and they showed some of these today. I'll show you the clip of them shooting the pistol, or you may have already seen it. It looks really good. Like, everything looks really smooth. It doesn't look like a repeat of every animation. It looks like there's lots of like specialized things, and it's not just looking like that. It actually is like that. So every single gun in the game has its own custom animations, and they're implementing, like right now as they work on the game, they're implementing these guns one at a time as they work on them, instead of just, you know, dragging all the files over from the old Dayz. They're working on them one at a time. I mean, this game is truly like a Dayz 2.0, a truly new game, the way they're redoing everything. The FNX, which is just a pistol that you may have never shot in your life. I've only shot it a couple times. I mean, think about that. The FNX pistol, right? FNX 45 that you don't ever shoot. It's got the only pistol with the red dot sight, I believe. Has 28 individual animations. Wow. Now, you may be thinking, what a waste of time. But the deal is, they want this beta to be polished. They're trying to show people we can make a good game. And even if you didn't trust in the devs before, I mean, you may not trust them now, but you don't have to trust them. All you've got to do is try Dayz beta when it actually comes out. So they talked about when experimental comes out, it won't contain all the beta features that they want to come to the game. It'll be more of the main gameplay parts. Just feeling a lot of the new animations, feeling the new player controller, seeing the world, seeing how it runs, finding bugs, etc., as experimental versions are. But they wanted to stress the point that it's not experimental of the entire beta. It's experimental of beta, like a beta, not beta of the beta, but like just like an experimental version of the prime parts of beta. I just said the word beta a million times, and I'm sorry to rape your ears that way. Rape your ears? I don't know. That may not have been right. Anyways, so and the last thing, not the last thing they talked about, but the last thing I'm going to talk about basically is the fact of modding and how they're extremely passionate about modding coming into the game. So some games like GTA 5 have been edgy when it comes to modding, but with Dayz, I mean, they are so open to it. They talked about how you're going to be able to disable the core parts of Dayz. You're going to be able to just tweak everything. They're totally opening it up once it's out, and it looks like they're just all for it. I mean, they're saying you can make different genres of the game. You can make a Dayz like MMO, where you level up parts of your players, blah, blah, blah. I mean, heck, they're putting these ideas out there for players. They're just so excited to see what you guys, and by you guys, I mean, you guys that know how to mod stuff, because I don't know how to do that, what you guys can do. So, if you're a modder, or you've got the knowledge to maybe learn how to mod the game, start thinking of cool stuff. I mean, I'm totally here to try your mods, even. Like, I cannot wait for mods to start flowing into this game. Because even if their version of the game isn't that good, and everybody hates stamina, pretty sure modders could just make servers without stamina. I mean, basically what they're saying is it doesn't matter what we do, because modders are going to have full control themselves over what this game does too. Now, it's not that it doesn't matter what they do, but I just mean like modders are going to have so much control and going to, carry this game for years to come. Even when Dayz's fully out, mods can still keep rolling out, just like they have for Arma 3. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the information from this status report, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like on the video. I really appreciate when you guys do that. It shows me you've enjoyed it. And if you didn't enjoy it, make sure to drop a comment of why you didn't, or just drop a comment and say hello. I read every single comment. And make sure to subscribe. And I hope to see all of you guys in my next video.